Hi, welcome to the Homeless Distribution Day video. My name is Andy Cruz.
I'm Jenn Cruz.
And in this video, we're going to describe a couple things to you about what to expect about the homeless outreach coming up on Sunday, October 29th. So Jen's going to give you a couple rules of thumb. I'm going to talk to you about a couple things to look for, and then what we're going to be doing on that day.
Okay, so where we park is on the street parking on 14th and K downtown. There are usually open slots, and we'll back the cars up and unload all of the distribution items onto tarps on the lawn, and then people will line up as we get further organized. One of the things that we are hesitant about, really, but just want you to be careful with, is the fact that there's a hepatitis breakout downtown. And we want to make sure that everybody is safe and stays healthy and just doesn't contract anything. So what we're going to have on site are gloves. We ask that you have minimal contact, if maybe none at all, but to be very, very available. Be a listener. Be someone who just loves on them. These people have the biggest hearts, and they're such an amazing community that our job when we go down there is just to pour out love on them. And we welcome children to be a part of this. Our daughters come in as well and join in, but it is very, very important that there are adults with each set of kids. No child is to wander off by themselves. They must always have an adult present. And we ask that you remain flexible with the day of changes. We don't know how it's going to be, what there will be going on downtown. We have to stay flexible to whatever downtown has going on. We are guests there.
So another thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned is that sometimes our homeless neighbors have pets, and they're sometimes different than the pets that we call our pet at home. So it might be a dog that looks friendly. It could be a dog that does not look friendly. But I need you to think of that animal first and foremost as a defense mechanism for that person. A lot of times our homeless neighbors, they have animals, specifically dogs, for companionship or for friendship, but also sometimes they have them for protection. Something that we notice is that the dogs are very defensive of their owner, and I need you to be aware of that. So anyone that has a dog should have some sort of leader connected by that person, next to that person, or near that person. You have to remember that a lot of times these dogs not only are unregistered, but also the person who owns the dog doesn't have any means to take care of any problem that might happen if you pet the dog and there's a problem. First of all, we don't want that to happen, but also you need to be aware that anyone who is bringing a dog, that dog usually is defending the person that they're with. So this is a very natural transition into what to come and tell us about if you see something downtown that you're not sure about. First of all, as a rule of thumb, as a mature adult, anything that makes you kind of look sideways and go, I'm not sure about that, that's something you got to come and find Jen or find myself about. We know what to do, we know how to handle it, and as the point people for this project, we need you to tell us so that we can address it as quick as possible. So, a couple things that you might see. If you see someone who has a weapon on they're brandishing a weapon on the side of them. I'm saying if they have a pocket knife, or they have a knife that is not in a pocket, that is something you need to come and find me, and I will address that with that person individually. Any person who asks you a question that you do not feel comfortable answering, or you do not know the answer, instead of guessing, come and ask. You can ask Jen, you can ask me. They might be asking you for services. They might be asking you for additional outreach resources. They might be asking you for money. They could ask you, well, what's this whole thing about? Well, you know what this is about, connected to the church services and connected to our outreach that we're doing on this weekend. But if there's something outside of that you just don't know, we want you to come and tell us what those things are. So here are a couple of things that you're going to be doing while we're downtown. So first of all, you're going to help us set up and coordinate all the things that were packed the night before. That's hygiene kits, that's clothes, that's water, it's going to be shoes and accessories. So all this is going to show up downtown in trucks and vans and cars, and we're going to need to set it out on the lawn with tarps. We need help organizing that. And then once it's organized, we're going to need people at every single station. That means a men's hygiene kit station, a women's hygiene kit station, a water station. We're going to have clothing stations for men, women, and children. And then, of course, there's accessories like belts and hats and scarves and shoes, work shoes, tennis shoes, that kind of thing. The idea is that all the clothes will be sorted by not only gender, but also by size. So ways you can help someone find what they're looking for. Offer to help them. Some people might have already gotten something and they linger. They may just want someone to talk to. So ask them how they're doing. Ask them their name. Ask them about their story. If people want you to pray for them or pray with them, go ahead and pray with them. One thing is to take something to them and let them get what they need. The other part is just to treat them with human kindness. And the fruits of the Spirit. Let's be kind and gentle, and let's pray for these people too. So where people ask you to be neighborly, be neighborly. If it turns out that you don't lift a finger handing a bottle of water, but you've been talking with, listening to, and praying for people all day, that's part of this outreach too.
That's probably the best thing you could have done.
That is, it's probably more important than the pair of socks someone might give or the bottle of water. Now, so if you find yourself that you only want to participate that way, that's fine too. But wherever you feel most comfortable, we want you to lock in and we want you to be engaged. Any other comments?
Nope, you nailed it.
No. All right. So if you have any questions, you can email Jen and I directly before Sunday the 29th. Otherwise, we'll see you downtown. And thank you guys so much for joining us for this homeless outreach. And before you get there, pray for the people we're going to serve. Pray for their hearts. Pray for their receptiveness to our help. And pray that they will get their life back on the right course towards living a life of purpose that is going to be fulfilled because of things like this. So.
And also pray for all of the volunteers that are coming, that are joining in this serving process, that God would reach their hearts in whatever capacity He needs to show them where they need to be serving, if it's with this organization or organizations like this one, just to really help people to be aware of the giftings that God has given them and how to share them properly.
Yep. Great. Thanks, guys. See you Sunday.